Now class, picking up where we left off at. Example 4, use a slope and a y-intercept to graph the linear equation. We have a slope of 2/5 and we had a point 0, -3. So the first thing we do is plot the point 0, -3, which I plotted it here. Now to find these other 2 points, this is what I did. This was rise over run. So we rose 2 from this point, 1, 2, and then we ran 5. And since it's positive, we go to the right. So that gave us the point -1. What was that? 5, -1. Okay, now to get this point down here, all we have to do is do the opposite of what we see here. Make this a -2, make this a -5. So our rise would be -2, which means we go down 2. And then our run would be -5, which means we go to the left 5. Because we know -2 divided by -5 is also a positive 2/5. Okay, now we want to graph this. I do not have a straight edge, so I'm going to attempt to use this line here to possibly graph this. So let me move this over a little bit. No, this will be much easier for you all when you have your straight edge. Okay, this is close enough. Now it goes through all of the points and we're done with that problem. Now we go here to B. Okay, now we have the slope is -3/2 and our y-intercept is 0, 4. So we first plot 0, 4. Now, since the negative is in the middle, that means that our numerator could be negative or our denominator could be negative. So let's try and do it with the numerator being negative. So from here, our rise will go down 3 because it's negative, and our run will be positive 2. So we will end up with the point positive 2, 1. Now, we take this same slope here, and then we will go down -3, and then we will run 2 to the right. So that gave us the point 4, -2. Now we just need to graph this. Now, it's taking a little bit. Okay, now let's see if I can move this. Yes, this is about as good as I'm going to get it. So that takes care of B. But remember, you all can use a straight edge. Now we come down here to C. Now our slope and y-intercept is not given to us, but it is in slope-intercept form. As you all could see here, since y is by itself, we know the slope is the number in front of the x, or the coefficient, which would be -1. And our y-intercept, we know that it'd be 0 and then -4. So now we plot the 0, -4, which goes here. And our slope being -1, we could rewrite this as -1 over 1. So we have 0, -4, and we're going to do our rise and run. Let's imagine that our numerator is negative, so we'll go down 1, and we will run positive 1. This is how we get this point. Now let's say that we made our denominator negative and kept our numerator positive. We will move up 1, and then we will go to the left 1. I believe this is as close as we can get it here with this line. Now we go here to D. We have 2/3 x plus 1. Now, our slope here we know would be 2/3, and our y-intercept would be 0, 1. Okay, so again, I had said that our slope is 2/3, and our y-intercept is 0, 1. So first we plot the 0, 1, And then we will do our rise over run. We have 2 for our rise, and our run is 3. That gave us this point here. Then 2 for our rise, and our run is 3. So now we need to draw a straight line. And this is about how close it's going to get there. Okay, now we scroll down here. We have example 5. It says use the slope and y-intercept to graph ax plus by equals c. Graph 7x plus 2y equals 14 by using slope and intercept. Now, what I prefer to do is just get this in slope-intercept form. Just get the y by itself. So I would subtract 7x on both sides, and that leaves us 2y equals negative 7x plus 14. Then I would divide each side by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1 times y is y. Negative 7x divided by 2 is a negative 7 halves x, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. Okay, now we have our equation. Now we want to write out our slope and y-intercept. So our slope is a negative 7 halves, and our y-intercept is 0, 7. So now we graph this. We go to 0, 7, which is here, and then we do our rise over run. So let's make, since this 7 is negative, we go down 7, which will take us back to the origin, and then we go to the right 2. So we will have our point, it'll be 2, 0. And then we will go from this point, and we will go down 7, and then to the right 2, which will give us, what's that, 4, negative 7. Now we need to graph this. This is probably as good of the line as I'm going to get, but just as a reminder, you all can use a straight edge. Now we go down here to example 6. I will do the same thing here. I want to get this in slope-intercept form, so we want to get y by itself. So we will subtract 2x on both sides, and we have 5y equals negative 2x plus 15. We will divide each side by 5, and we will be left with y is equal to negative 2/5 x plus 3. So now, our y-intercept, or our slope, let's get the slope first. Our slope is a negative 2/5, and our y-intercept is the ordered pair 0, 3. So first thing we will plot is 0, 3, and then we will use the rise over run. Now if you notice here, my points are going down. So that means that I used, that means that the numerator of our slope is negative. So we go down 2, then we go to the right 5. That will give us 5, positive 1. Now again, we go down 2, then we go to the right 5. This will give us, what's that, 10, negative 1. So now we need to graph those points. Yes, and this is about how straight that I will be able to get it. So now we need to scroll down here to objective 4. The figure shows the racial and ethnic composition of the United States population in 2008 with projections for 2050. Now, if you notice here, the white non-Hispanic population is steadily going down, which means that their population percentage is steadily decreasing, whereas the Hispanic population is increasing. Now it says here, use the 2 points for white non-Hispanic to find an equation in the form y equals mx plus b that models the percentage of white non-Hispanics, y, in the United States population X years after 2008, round m to 2 decimal places. So the 2 points are 0.68 and 42.46. So now we substituted. Y sub 2 goes first minus y sub 1. 46 minus 68 is negative 22. And then we do the next value. We will have our x sub 2, which is 42, minus our x sub 1, which is 0. So we will end up with 42. Negative 22 over 42, we could divide both by 2, and that would give us a negative 11 over 21. Now, when you put this in your calculator, it approximately rounds off to a negative 0.52. So now we can write our equation. Now we know our slope, so we have y equals negative 0. Supposed to be 52 x plus, now we have 68 because this is our y-intercept. Our y-intercept was 0, 68, so we know our y-intercept is 68. So this is the equation. Now, we scroll down here to the next example. It says, use the model to predict the percentage of white non-Hispanics in the United States in 2108. So we would take 2108 minus 2008, but because remember, this is done by the years after 2008. So we would subtract 2108 minus 2008 is 100. So we would take this formula here and substitute in 100 for x. So we have y equals a negative 0.52 times 100, which gives us a negative 52 plus 68. Negative 52 plus 68 is 16. So our y is equal to 16, which is our percentages. So in 2108, there will be about 16% white non-Hispanic population in the United States. And that is it.